Morning YouTube, William here. I thought I'd give you guys a video, just a nifty little trick that I actually learned from YouTube. I thought I'd just pass it on to my subscribers because it has saved me countless and countless hours of refabbing. I'm working on a dust hood for a machine today, and I've got all these holes where somebody was working with a cutting torch, didn't know what they were doing, and so my nifty little trick is, this is already a hole that I've patched. That's one as well. They don't look very good right now, but I'll blend them down. And this metal was thin. These were actually drilled holes, but this metal was thin, and right here they used a torch, and it's really thin. I can bend it by hand. And basically, my nifty little trick is, get yourself a piece of aluminum. This is something I just had laying around. It was like 12 inches wide by, I don't know, 6 foot long. I just sheared off a little piece in my shear. This is what the backside looks like. I'll explain. It's getting a little warped and stuff. I clean it off with a blending wheel every once in a while. And basically, what I do, I clamp this behind here. I'll weld this from the inside because it'll look better. I'll clamp this back here with just a welding clamp, nothing fancy, and I will go on the inside and weld that. And because this is an alloy, it does burn a little bit, which you can see. It does take a little aluminum with it. But since this is an alloy and this is a steel, they do not bond when you weld them, which is awesome because I get a lot of people who don't know what they're doing with cutting torch, and this is what I find a lot of. This is a pretty good patch job. You can see right there where my original weld line is, which will actually be covered up. That's why I didn't blend it any further. This is an elevator leg, and what happens is there's a rubber belt in here that moves over and actually cuts a groove in these. They cut them in the head and they cut them in the boot, usually. So I took my piece of aluminum, I laid it on the inside because that part will be covered, and I just started to seam down this. You got to be slow because when you're doing a lot of heat, you're going to be using a lot of, you're going to be burning your aluminum up. But that's my finished product, and it may not look exactly factory, but that piece is ready to go out for another 20 years of use. Just a simple trick that I've learned and I've used quite frequently lately. And another thing that helps when you're welding a thin material, if I were to just take off welding this, I'd get a lot of warpage. But since my plate is so wide, that actually helps suck the heat out of my weld. I get plenty of penetration, but it helps to keep my warpage down, which this isn't really too critical. This just closes up against it and stops the flow of grain. But I thought I'd give you just a nifty little trick, and hopefully it helps somebody working on an old combine or whatever. So we'll see you next time.